Yes. All right, here we go.
Test. Test.
This is yours.
Test.
Yep.
I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
I will survive.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we're good.
It needs to, connection to internet.
Do hotspot. All right. Yeah.
Hotspot works.
Technology is hard. All right. Hello and welcome and thank you for coming for the only English. We wanted to do it in French.
Bonjour, madame and monsieur.
We do not parler français. So we'll do it in English, and thank you for coming for the only English speaking session, and we appreciate your struggle.
We will try to make this educational and also entertaining. So
yes,
we'll just
a lot of dead jokes. Dead and dad.
I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Yes.
It depends how fast the caffeine will kick in.
Yes. No,
you will see. It's gonna be high energy talk. So be prepared.
Okay. This is LangChain4j versus Spring AI, the face of the battle, the competition.
Cage match.
No, I told you I'm not doing cage match.
No cage match.
No cage match with Victor. What we're going to do is we're going to go through a list of features which you can use now using one of those two frameworks to enrich your application, whatever application it is, with AI.
Anyone building any AI-enabled applications these days? Chatbots, that's pretty much everyone is building that.
Everybody builds chatbots.
Okay,
cool.
Spring AI people, who will be my people and also would be voting for my features?
No, they will vote for the best features.
Which is Spring AI.
We'll see. Anyway, we will show you how to do the basic LLM integration, so your application can call LLM and get information from it. We will show you how to do conversational memory, how to add retrieval augmented generation, model context protocol and tools calling, working with local model and guardrails. So those are important features, and we have time to go through all of them and show you in both frameworks. In the end of the talk, you will vote for whatever framework you liked best. Not necessarily that you have to use it, but just an objective voting, and I will bribe you with t-shirts for voting for LangChain4j.
Objective, okay.
You don't have t-shirts. You didn't bring any t-shirts.
I don't. Let's see. I'm not that stylish as you are.
So those t-shirts.
Show some goods. Show some goods.
Yes,
exactly.
Very cool features. All right. So who we are? My name is Baruch Sadogurski. I'm at jbaruch everywhere on the internet, head of developer relations at a company called TaxCare. They are in charge of those awesome t-shirts, but not only. We also do security patching for end-of-life open source components. So basically, if you have to use a component past the official end-of-life, for example, Spring Boot 2 or Spring Framework 5 or any other open source, and you don't have the ability to upgrade right now, talk to me, and we'll hook you up with a secure version of those old components instead of rushing into unplanned and unmitigated upgrades. Ajay Baruch over the internet, as I said, wrote a couple of books, DevOps Tools for Java Developers and the Liquid Software. And this is my partner in crime, Victor Gamov.
Hi, I'm Victor.
I can do it for you.
You're
done?
Everything works.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I work at the Principal Developer Advocate at Confluent. Anyone heard about Confluent? If you heard about Kafka,
it's like Jira but for documents, right?
Yes, it's a good try. Yes, it's all about Kafka. And if you want to learn how your Kafka can work for your AI applications, come talk to me after. And how to build streaming agents and all this kind of stuff. Gamusa at the internets, the X Blue Sky everywhere. Just if you want to connect, just LinkedIn. That's the best. I also wrote a few books, but we're not gonna.
I have questions.
Yes.
Enterprise web development. Seriously?
Yes. Enterprise web development. Yes. I did lots of stuff for money. So in the past, it was
$20 is $20.
Yes, $20 is $20. Nothing was passion projects. You had to make some money and make some name in consultancy. So
But no JavaScript anymore.
No JavaScript anymore, mostly Java, Kotlin, and the demo is also written in Kotlin. Any Kotlin fans?
Yeah, we're
Any
going
Scala fans?
Okay.
Thank God.
You can stay. Yeah. You can stay.
I finally lived the times where there's no Scala people in the room anymore. So,
Yeah. Okay. Good. Small wins. Yes. Okay. The most important slide of this talk is this one. If you go to shownotes.taxcare.com or AIassistant.engineering, that's a very fancy
cool
domain.
Very cool URL.
Very cool domain.
Yes.
You will find there the slides that are already uploaded. You will find the video that we are recording right here and over there. Redundancy because software. You will find all the links and it will be a lot for everything that we're doing. And if you go to shownotes.taxcare.com, you will also find a raffle of a very nice retro keyboard, mechanical keyboard, to thank you for being here. So just do that. It's conveniently on the bottom of every slide, so you don't need to remember the URL. And also, if you feel like scanning QR code, you can do it right now.
Yep.
Or you will see it again in the end if right now is... Okay, people scanning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, we give opportunity for everyone who wants to join. So let's jump right into our presentation.
Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to show you an app that provides information about airline loyalty programs. It's exactly the same app, and we have two different frameworks, the Spring AI and LangChain4j over Quarkus.
Spring AI over Spring Boot, obviously.
Yes, and LangChain4j over Quarkus. So why Spring AI over Spring Boot is no
clear.
Yes, no description needed. LangChain4j works as a standalone framework, and you can use it with any application framework that you like, including Spring and Spring Boot, but it is integrated especially well with Quarkus. Two teams work together very, very closely. A lot of people who work on LangChain4j are employed by Red Hat and work with Quarkus as well.
Yep.
So you will see the integration, and it's top-notch. So if you think about using LangChain4j, you might think about using it with Quartz, but you don't have to. With Quarkus, but you don't have to. All right. Are we ready for stage one?
I think so.
Okay. Stage one, basic LLM integration.
Yes. So essentially, if you start learning LLMs, and you must know that there's no magic there. There's only APIs and apps. So whenever you're using ChatGPT or using Claude, you're using app. If you're using the OpenAI integration, you will probably be using API. And every cool things that say it remembers your personality or remembers what you asked before, it's the app. So the ChatGPT is the app that uses API, and it has some cool functionalities. But at the end of the day, if you try to integrate with LLM, it's just the API call. API call is stateless. There's no resources in the world that will persist.
We'll talk about it on stage two.
Yeah. But in this first case, we're going to show you how we can simply integrate stuff with our application. So I have the Spring Boot application where I will just run, if I'm run the right directory right now. So I'm running this Gradle Spring Boot application. We start with integrating with OpenAI. So we're gonna say this is our helpful assistant. We define a system prompt in order to this application to be represented, or we express in our intention that the application will be our airline assistant. So let's see if my internet works. Tell me about United loyalty program. And now it creates the connection to OpenAI. We'll get the response, and in a few seconds, hopefully my phone connection is stable enough in order to get us a response from live.
Show some code.
Yes.
In the meanwhile.
In the meanwhile, yes. So one of the things that Spring iterates over is the concept of a chat client and chat model. Some of the things can be in Spring, can be automatically configured. In this particular case, a chat model will be automatically configured through this configuration. I'm using GPT-5 as a base model, and I'm using OpenAI key. It will be injected through environment variables. And after that, inside my the controller that will be interacting my front end, we are having this conversation with this AI service process query. Inside this process query, we're gonna go include prompt that will include our system prompt and also include user query. And as a result, we're getting something from LLM. It's a little bit mouthful, but what about this? What we can show here? My name is Victor, for example. I want to have a little bit of personal touch maybe here. And I just send this request saying that, hey, I'm Victor. And it should get nice to meet you. And if I say that, what's my name? I introduced myself. So it's supposed to be remember me. And all of a sudden, it doesn't know me well, but at least it remembers that it use this application as our the flight assistant. So it remembers that the flight assistant doesn't know me, which is kind of expected because there's no way how it remembers everything on the server side.
Yep. So because it's stateless API call, as you mentioned. All right. I have exactly the same thing. I asked almost the same question about Delta, and it gives me a similar answer. Delta Airlines has a loyalty program called SkyMiles with explanation about what it is. This is also absolutely stateless. My name is Baruch, and it will just say like, well, okay, what do you want me to do with it? Hello, Baruch. What's my name? And it will say, I have no idea who you are because stateless API. Let's look at how we do it.
Yeah, just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, so let's do it bigger. Okay, so in Quarkus, you basically have very similar model of development that was heavily influenced by Spring back like 20 years ago. You have beans and they are auto-injected into each other. And the only bean that kind of we need for AI integration is called AI service. And we have AI service that we need to register the AI service. And basically what we have here is an interface. We don't need to write any code. And this interface is annotated with AI service. And it has one parameter, which is system message. And that's the system message that kind of prepares the AI what it has to do.
System message will be attached to every request every time we will be talking. So that's why it is remembers that it's still airline assistant bot or whatever.
Yeah, and then we have exactly one method, chat, and we need to annotate it with user message because we need to tell Quarkus that this is where the user messages are going back and forth.
Yep.
We will get value and we will pass it through, and it will return the return of the AI. And we do it with a REST controller, with web controller, and this is our application itself. We match it to root path of our application, localhost or whatever, and we inject our AI service. Once we injected our AI service, this is all we need to do. We have a get on the root that shows the form, asks the question, presents an answer or an error. And here is where it's going to happen, right? So question must be submitted, kind of a little bit of cleanup and massaging of the answer, but basically nothing that you didn't do in your web controller for any application. So there is no magic here except of injection of our assistant chat that we actually call. Here we go. This is the return. We send the question to the chat, we get an answer, and we basically present it. Mm-hmm. This is all. The magic happens in the application properties, as usual. And here we can say stuff, for example, which model do we want to use? And in our example, we want to use OpenAI compatible model. So this is why we will say LangChain4j OpenAI. And the model that we are going to use is actually OpenAI model, ChatGPT Mini.
Also, like I'm using GPT-5 just for kicks. And in my test recently, I found that GPT-4 responding a little bit faster than GPT-5.
That's why I use the Mini, because that's the fastest model, right? Temperature, now, context, just a couple of words about model temperature. As you know, neural models are finding similar things to the things that we asked. So if we asked for what is similar to king, it will say that queen is similar to king because it's also royalty, and it kind of relates.
It's different. The temperature defines the how creative model will be in your
That's what
response.
I'm going.
No, you're going
That's
with
where we're going.
They talk about this in the
I'm
back.
talking about temperature. I'm
Yes.
talking about temperature right now, right? So why it finds queen, for example, but it won't find princess? Because queen is more like king than princess, for example. We can control how close this similarity is by temperature. The higher the temperature, the closest results we expect. The lower the temperature, the more faraway results will be displayed as well. So for example, if I will set temperature to low, princess will also come up as similar to king. But if I set the temperature to high, queen might not be similar enough to king. So that's the idea of the temperature. 0.7 is kind of the golden number when it's will find enough diverse things, but it won't go completely hallucinating off the rails. So this is that, and this is all. This is all we need to do in order to run it. And then we can just run a Quarkus command line that will run continuously with auto reload, auto recompile, and everything that we need. So we can just go ahead and edit our code. Once our IDE will save files, they will be automatically recompiled and redeployed, so we can see live results. And also what we have is a very nice feature that is called DevUI. DevUI is a feature that comes out of the box with Quarkus for development, obviously, and it will show us what's going on inside our Quarkus application. So we will see all the bins. So we wrote 2 files, but we generated 117 bins because infrastructure. and we can see other stuff. The interesting part here is that we have LangChain4j module deployed, and it's deployed just by dependency being there, and we have AI service. We can see what AI service that we have. This is our class name, so we can go to the source and see what's going on. So that's a good start.
Yeah. How many of you have seen this before, like a DevUI from the Quarkus, and using this every day? This is actually a pretty cool thing. So in Spring, we have like very similar dev tools, but UI is, the Quarkus has very nice UI. So let's go for the second part. Now you know that the API calls are stateless, so we need to preserve information across the calls. So first thing is you saw, we have system prompt. So every time when we have a query, we include the system prompt. We also need to include some information from the previous conversations. So we're going to show how different frameworks solve this type of task. So let me show you quickly, for example, results. So I also switched now to use same model, so I can get a little bit faster responses. And now I said that my name is Heisenberg, tell me about United Program. It says like, hello Heisenberg, and I would say, say my name. My Breaking Bad people, your name is Heisenberg. And I'm saying, you got them right. That's awesome. So the way how it works in Spring Boot, all the concepts around handling responses and massaging responses from LLMs happened through the thing called advisors. So when I configure my chat client for interacting. That's my system prompt. It stays the same. But one of the things that I'm adding here is two things, two default advisor. One, simple logger advisor. This is something that I use to debug my conversation. So whatever I send there, whatever I get a response, so I will get this in the logging. I'll show you in a second. And there's a special message chat memory advisor. So in this case, I'm using this in-memory advisor that will be store information about chat memory. And in this particular case, I'm using max messages 20, and it will store internal, let's assume it's going to be some sort of like a hash map or whatnot. And as a result, I have conversations, and I am united 1K. How I can get to 1K in 2025, 25, for example. And it's supposed to get me some information. And this is, for example, my advisor that logs everything. It shows me the system prompt and also shows me some of the important information. Also, it writes down a response. So in this case,
no dev UI, just saying.
Yeah, no dev UI, but it's Spring Boot also has auto reload feature. Photos.
Important. Wait a second.
Cool. Yeah, because the social media and stuff, it's important. So this information, Spring Boot also has like auto reload capabilities. So the DevTools enabled. So what I need to do in my application is to enable DevTools. So in order to show you how those things happened very quickly, we're just switching different branches. New code will appear. It will recompile and restart.
Yep.
So we're going to the Quarkus.
Yeah, so same query, same results. That's the second one. I already gave it my name, and now I ask what's my name, and it knows my name. And this is all wonderful. How do we do it? Now, prepare to be blown away. The only thing that I needed to do in order to add memory is one annotation. I added one parameter, which is memory ID. It's generated for me, it's managed for me, it's tracked for me. I don't need to do anything in order to work with it. It will be automatically injected and automatically consumed and mapped. Cool? Cool. You didn't see anything yet. Now, this service is application scoped. In other terms, Spring terms, for example, we would say that it is singleton. Singleton, like whiskey, but bin. Now, because we have one bin for the entire application, we actually need to track memory ID. That makes sense. Otherwise, everybody will have the same session. The other options for my scope is request scope, and it will create a new bin for every request. And obviously that won't help us with memory. But there is also a third scope, which is called session scope. Session scope is exactly the concept that we need to have conversations with people. So instead of having it application scoped, I can do session scoped. And then I don't even need the memory ID at all. Memory will be managed for me by using the same session that application works. It just worked automatically. There is one caveat. It only works with WebSockets applications.
But I think it's a question of time. I think it will be updated.
Yeah, it will be probably ported to like any web application, not only WebSockets. For now, it's with WebSockets. But what I'm saying is the memory is actually baked in. There is nothing you need to do, which is, I think, very, very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. By the way,
You sound excited.
We keep forgetting the people to vote about the features.
Oh, no, we will vote for everything in the end.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So now, many of you familiar with the concept that, do you know what's the P in GPT stands for?
Pre-trained.
Pre-trained. Perfect. What does it mean?
You got a T-shirt, by the way, remind me. I give T-shirts for everything, including good answers to questions. Yes.
So whenever model, a new version will be released, usually there's a cutoff time when they have like a dump of internet, and after that they shove this internet information into the model and train it. Usually it's limited time, so meaning that they don't have information about existing, events. So in order to help to solve this problem, developers come up with this idea of retrieval augmented generation, or RAG. Essentially, it is ability to inject some of the data that is relevant for our application into application context. For this, we required a little bit of kind of like a data engineering, system engineering, because it will require some extra systems. Pieces to be available, yeah. Specifically, we need to have a special store that allows us to perform semantic search. And also, we need to have ability to turn our, the knowledge data into something that a semantic search will be, applied to, right?
So how does it work?
How does it work?
So we have storage of information from somewhere. It can be internet, it can be files, it can be internal systems.
Database, Kafka, Salesforce,
yes.
Of course. Confluent.
No. The storage.
Confluence, yes, exactly.
Right,
You can have a wiki as your source, right, and this information required for responding. Typical use case is that your chatbot or support bot would use the knowledge base in order to search the answers, because people stupid. Right. People not gonna search in the knowledge base.
And pre-trained information is not enough, because pre-trained information of ChatGPT is out of date. There is a cut-off date by which the model is considered trained, and then it is published. And from this point on, all the information that it has learned from is frozen in time and probably will be out of date. We will see an example right here. Before you switch, did you switch already?
I already did.
Okay, I will show it. How does outdated information work? So basically, let me undo this application scope, and then what I want to show you is you don't see my screen. No, I need to exit presentation mode here. What does it take to become a diamond on Delta? Did I ask? Yes, it loads. Magic happens. You know the magic now. Sends the message ID with the query to ChatGPT. Here you go. Right, so it says you have to have 125,000 medallion qualifying miles. If you are probably not the right crowd, you're probably all their friends, but if you have been Delta, you would know that this is outdated information from a couple of years ago. Because now they switched to, they only care about money, not miles. Makes sense. Yes, so this is the pre-trained information, and it's out of date. For our assistant, it's obviously a problem, and this is why we need to bring in fresh information, and we bring it from a knowledge base. Our knowledge base for this use case will be the official websites of Delta and United. They have some protections against web scrolling, so we couldn't do URL retrieval because we don't get anything. So what we did, we stored this information locally in the PDF file, so that will be our source of information. Once we have PDF file, the next step will be converted to a neural network friendly format, which are vectors, which is basically like pieces of information related by how close they similar to each other. What I mentioned to you previously with the temperature. This will be stored in the vector database. This is one-time thing. It only needs to happen once, or when the information is updated.
It needs to happen periodically if you need
when
to
the information
keep updated information.
Yeah, but then the flow is that the user asks the question, and before the question goes to LLM, it gets augmented with the information from the vector database. So it will be our query, how to get status plus in Delta, the right answer, frankly, from our vector database, and this will be sent to LLM like, hey, check this out. I think the answer is right there. and we will get a result from LLM, which will just say, oh yeah, we already knew the answer, this is the answer.
Yeah, as you can see, this orange square, this is where the magic happens. We merge two information that we have locally, and that's where the InfoSec people start getting a little bit janky, because you kind of sending information from your internal system into LLM, and like they don't know if they would use this information to train or not. This is not the subject for this particular talk. We only show in technology here, but also be mindful about like what kind of information you're sharing with the LLMs, and what's the local regulations for this.
Everything from RAG is going to be sent to LLM.
Everything that will be related to this, because we will specify the kind of like level of relevance as well. If I will show you this in my particular case. In Spring, I do have simple, where's my vector store? So first of all, let me show you. So if I would say, how can I get delta, what was the question?
Diamond.
Delta diamond in 2025. So in this case, what will happen, it will look in my the vector store, find this information, attach this information together with query, and after that, send this query to LLM, and we should get the response hopefully in a second. So I see that it picked up correct information in a moment. And meanwhile, I can show you how my debug function would look like. So my simple vector store, again, it's in memory right now, but Spring Boot has support for majority of the existing vector databases, pgvector. You have Pinecone. If you go to start.spring.io, and you go to, this, right? Start.spring.io, start.spring.io? No? Anyone? Okay. Okay, so...
Josh Long has work to do.
Yes, exactly. A vector. So Mulvis, Neo4j, vector database, Pinecone. So all sorts of vector stores are supported. And now, for example, if I want to do delta gold medallion, and I will be looking inside this, so it will find different information. So this looks like a nonsense, but it is something that stores inside the vector stores in form of chunks. And though each chunk will have some sort of like a relevance distance between our query that we're asking, because this query also will be turned into numbers, and after that, some of the documents will compare distance between this document and our query. So in this particular case, I can define similarity threshold saying 6 or like 406. And maybe it will show less documents. Yes, if I'll go similarity threshold 5, 4. Yeah, so it's showing some documents. And as a result, it says next medallion year per context. So now I also specifying inside my chat configuration that is if answer use provided context from official airline website. So this is me telling to model that I will provide some additional context. So the model would know that some information will come, and this is something that some nonsense that we'll be including. Again, this is there because of we're doing simple parsing of this PDF thingy. And getting some response, but we get the source. We know that this is actually from relevant source. So this the vector thingy works in my application. My document loader service uses a lot of, so Spring has a lot of things that allow you to load different type of documents. For example, there's a built-in support for reading PDF document. There's a built-in support for reading websites based on JSOUP. For example, you have a URL, and JSOUP will get this, parse it, and store this inside the vector store. And in this particular case, this vector store will be simple vector store that will store data in memory. Like I said, it supports multiple other storages. You ready to?
I am very ready.
Okay, very ready.
Very ready.
Very ready.
Okay, so I did the same question and got the same answer. As you can see here, we get updated information for 2026. You can see how Delta switched to, that's called medallion qualified dollars now. It's all MQD, no more miles. So this is updated information, and this is actually correct. So the RAG works. Now let me show you the significant changes that I had to do to my application in order to make it work. There is none.
Meaning that
There is none. Not a single line of code has been changed. I didn't add anything. I didn't add any new bins, any new services. I didn't do anything in the code. The only thing that I had to change is adding bunch of properties in my application properties. Yes, of course. Right, so this is all I had to do. It's called Easy RAG, and it's very easy to add RAG.
Why it says unused property?
I don't know, that's IntelliJ doesn't recognize it. So basically what I say here is find files in the RAG directory in the class path, RAG directory in the class path, make the search recursive, give back 5 results, and this is all. Now here I have the RAG directory in the class path with the PDF files that we generated from the website, and this is all the changes that I had to do. Now, the cool thing is that I can actually interrogate my RAG using DevUI. So you remember DevUI, which is very, very cool. And here in LangChain4j, I have an option to go to embedding store. Now, embedding store works with the same in-memory vector database that I showed you earlier. And we can add stuff to it and new embedding, or we can search for relevant embeddings. So let's search for diamond, and let's see if that works.
Yeah, I'll do the same, like limit 5 and just do
let's limit that. So we can see the test, the server logging in the DevUI, of course, and here you can see how it works with the embedding. So this is our object, and this is all the embeddings that it parses through and returns. And you can see here the results and the score, 0.87, that's the top score, that almost exact fit. And you can see here the test segment that will show it with all the information that we needed to see. Is it cool or is it cool?
Yeah, it is cool. It is pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Yeah. So how the embeddings, how the database works, it has a JSON file that has the embedding in it. It's a huge JSON file that has all the embeddings, and this is our vector store. Obviously, if we want a proper RAG, we can switch from easy RAG to working with real vector database, and then it will be a little bit of code to integrate it. But easy RAG is just mind-blowing on how easy and how RAG it is. It's pretty RAG.
Red. Kids saying red.
It was a joke because it's a RAG.
Okay. All right. I'm not getting this. And the reason why I'm not getting this, because this RAG thingy actually takes a lot of effort. So again,
like
you need
5 properties.
No. Like it takes maybe configuration. It's easy to do it in apps, but underlying infrastructure, if you want to do this in production, it will take a lot of things. So you need to have maintain the store. You need to maintain the. We'll take the questions at the end.
No, not at the end. Just finish the sentence.
Yes. So we have.
We're good.
10 minutes to finish.
Yeah.
What I was trying to say. I was trying to say that RAG is also depends on how fresh this information would be. Also, it requires embedding, because to create embeddings, you also need to call API. It's another, another money.
Piece of the money.
Piece of the money.
Question. Yes, go for it.
With RAG, there is a lot of problems with hallucination. Is there anything in Spring or LangChain4j?
So the whole idea of RAG is to eliminate hallucination, right?
Yes.
We focus the question, we give the answer with the question in the process right here. So we send, what we send to our LLM is a combination of question plus the context to minimize the hallucinations. That's the exact idea of the RAG. Okay, go for MCP.
Yeah, so now...
You have 30 seconds.
And also, 30 seconds, okay. The next thing is that we're going to show you is that I'm not a huge fan of the RAG, because RAG is pretty static for me. Now, I want to have something, I came a little bit from the API world, and what about we're going to use some external API? It turns out that it's not that easy, so somehow we need to teach the LLMs to talk certain API, and the MCP is a Model Context Protocol. This is how LLM will interact with external tools in the standard manner, and they know that what would be a response, would be a request, and stuff like that.
So Kafka guy yells on databases. You
Yeah,
hate
exactly.
databases. This is
Exactly.
why he hates RAG.
Yeah, that's
He
why
wants streaming.
that's why I want
Now,
to have
wait a
MCP.
second. Yes, wait a second. I'll just, in defense of databases.
In defense of database.
Yeah. MCP does not replace RAG. RAG to MCP is what database to API is.
I mean, yeah.
Is what database to API is, right? You need both.
You can't exist without.
Sometimes, for our use case, we really don't need RAG, right? If we want to get an information from online source, we just use API.
Yeah.
But, for example, if you have your internal knowledge, this is RAG, this is database. And then you have API on top of it to present it to LLM.
Yeah.
So it's not a replacement. In our case it is, but it's not always.
So you can, like, comparing to the vector implementation, you can have your database and you can put on top of this MCP, and it will be all of a sudden available for model to interact.
All right, go for MCP.
Yeah. So the way how it works in our case, we created, I created, and Baruch will have the very similar idea, is that we switch